What is up, YouTube? Welcome to PanFro Games. In today's video, we're going to be breaking down the best builds that you should build to defeat this upcoming 7-star Terra Ice Empoleon for Pokemon Scarlet and Violet. I do think this is going to be one of the more difficult 7-star raids, but I kept in mind a lot of different techniques that we can use to defeat this Pokemon quite easily. And of course, guys, if you like this type of content and enjoy these videos, please leave a like, subscribe if you're new. I really appreciate it. Consider supporting the channel by joining the Pan Fam by hitting that join channel member button below. So let's dive into the stats on this 7-star Ice Terra Empoleon. So Empoleon honestly has a pretty solid stat line, honestly. 111 special attack with 101 special defense makes it so physical attackers will definitely have more of an advantage on that defensive side, which is 88. Now, I do think it's going to be a full special attacker because it does have that 111, while its physical attack is going to be 86. Now, its general bulk with HP is at 84, which is one of its lower stats. Honestly, 84 HP with 88 defense is decent, but for 84 HP with 101 special defense is actually quite good. So it's going to be definitely bulky on the special defensive side. It is going to be, however, very slow. Base 60 is not that great, so we're most likely going to be able to outspeed it and heal before it can actually do damage to us, which is absolutely going to be massive in this raid. Now, it is going to be Terra Ice, so it's going to have a lot of weaknesses. It's going to have 4 weaknesses out here, but you don't want to use Fire Pokemon because, you know, you're going to hit by a Water move because it's Empoleon. You don't want to use Rock-type Pokemon because you're going to be getting hit by either Water or by Steel-type moves, which also has Stabbing, so you definitely don't want to look at that. So we're looking at Steel, and we're looking at Fighting as our best 2 Pokemon types to bring to defeat this Empoleon. Now, to put this out there, it is Terra Ice, which means if it does set up the snow with a snowscape, it will be getting a 50% physical defense boost, which is absolutely scary. So this 88 is going to double, which is going to definitely make it higher than the special defense. So I did think it's important to bring both physical attackers and special attackers just in case we don't know what's going to exactly happen. Most likely, though, we have seen 2 other Snowscape users in the past with Inteleon, and we have also seen the Iron Bundle, so we got to keep this in mind. It has a high chance of having Snowscape. Now, its hidden ability is competitive, which is absolutely terrifying. It's going to be getting a +2 special attack buff whenever we drop one of its stats. Doesn't matter what stat, as long as it suffers a drop from us, it will be getting a special attack boost. So we're not going to just be able to freely hit Fake Tears or Acid Spray or Screech or Mud Slap on it because we will get punished. We're going to have to keep that in mind, especially with our supporters. Now, the moveset for it, I think, is going to be pretty predictable. It's going to definitely have an Ice-type move, so either Ice Beam or Blizzard. If it sets a Snowscape, I'm leaning towards Blizzard, but I think Ice Beam for sure. And then it's a Water type, so Surf or Hydro Pump are the 2 best water moves it has on the special side. One or the other, hopefully it's Hydro, because then it has actually a decent chance of missing because it's only 80% accurate. Then its best Steel type move is going to be Flash Cannon. I don't think it's going to use Steel Beam. If it does, that'd be pretty crazy, but I think Flash Cannon's more likely. It actually gets the TM for that too pretty easily. And then its other special moves doesn't really have a lot of options. It can have Grass Knot, but I think Air Slash makes the most sense because Air Slash defeats the fighting types that can beat it. So Steel types actually have 1 up on this raid just because there's no real way Empoleon hits super effective damage on the special side. Physical, it could like have something like Earthquake, so we can keep that in mind, but it has a pretty wide physical move pool, and that 86 attack isn't that scary, and it's not going to be getting a competitive boost for its physical attack, so I don't really care too much about that. What I care way more about is the setup move. So, as I mentioned, the combo of Snowscape Blizzard with Terra Ice, terrifying stuff. That is scary. I do think it's a guaranteed lock-in, turn 0 or turn 1 Snowscape, so better prepare for that. Now, setup moves, it does get Swords Dance, but I do think it's going to lean onto its special attack, and I think Agility makes a lot of sense here because it is really slow, and if it sets up 1 Agility against us, that +2 is going to outspeed a lot of our own Pokemon, and then we're going to be healing after it attacks us, which is always a scary situation to be in these raid battles. So I do think that Agility is going to be a lock on this set. Lastly, it does have access to Haze. Will it actually use Haze and remove all our stat buffs? Potentially. That would be a worst case scenario. That's definitely scary. Luckily, there's a couple Pokemon that can ignore that and deal with that well, but that is still really scary. That will ruin a lot of builds, so we're just gonna have to wait and see. Now let's dive into the builds here. Starting off with Physical Attackers, we're going to go with Annihilate and the Terra Ghost in Shell Bell, max HP, max attack, Adamant Nature, and we have the ability Defiant. So let's say for some reason the Empoleon has a move that can lower our special stats or any of our stats, like an Icy Wind that lowers our speed, we'll be getting a +2 boost to our physical attack. It's honestly just decent and useful in general. Now, the big thing here is, my biggest fear is this Empoleon can set up the snow. Turn 1, we might have to just set up a sunny day, remove that snow, make it so water moves have a 50% decrease in damage, and Blizzard will have a 50% accuracy as well. This can completely shut down the Empoleon. So when that happens, we're going to set up a Focus Energy. We don't want to set up a Screech because if you Screech on it, we are going to be giving a +2 special attack to the Empoleon because it does have competitive. After you have the Focus Energy up, which is going to give you a 50% chance of critting each time you attack, you're going to start spamming Rage Fist. Now, Rage Fist is going to be getting boosted in damage every time you take a hit from the Empoleon. So if you get hit twice, you're going to be doing 150 damage. Just caps at 300, and the stacks stay even when you faint. So you most likely will faint at least one time, and that's okay. You come back from fainting, and bam, you pop that Ghost Terra Ghost, Rage Fist, and you're going to be doing so much damage, especially if you get a crit because that Focus Energy is going to be up. Should be a relatively easy Pokemon, and I think this Pokemon will have a great chance of soloing. The only thing that could potentially beat it is getting hit by an Air Slash, but remember, Air Slash is not going to be super, it's going to not be stab. It will be super effective, but it's not stab boosted or Terra boosted, so we should be able to take that pretty decently well. Next up is Koraidon with the Terra Fighting and Shell Bell. Now, I know we are a Dragon type, but once we get 3 attacks off, we will be just a Fighting type when we get that Terra off, so I'm not really afraid of Ice type moves here. Now, we're going to be going max HP, max attack, Adamant Nature, and our ability sets up the sun and gives an attack boost when the sun is up. So that's really nice. Turn 0, we have the sun up, and we're not really afraid of Hydro Pump for the entire team, which is pretty great. However, it could switch the weather back, so I do actually recommend bringing Sunny Day. Now, if it sets up on turn 1 Snowscape, bam, you Sunny Day again, and now the sun is up and you don't have to worry about anything. And then for there, you can start setting up a couple of Swords Dance and then go for Collision Course. Now, Collision Course is going to be stab and super effective. It's going to be dealing power of 133 to the Empoleon, and it's going to be hitting its weaker stat, which is physical defense, instead of special defense. So this is going to be absolutely great. And we will get that HP back because we have the item Shell Bell. So Koraidon is going to be an absolute beast here. The hardest part of this fight is going to be the first beginning stages of it, which is why I highly recommend getting that Sunny Day. Because if the snow is up, then you're going to be getting blasted by blizzards, which you don't really want, and it's going to have that 50% physical defense to it. And our last physical attacker is Iron Hands with the item Metronome and Terra Fighting. We're going to go max HP, max attack, Adamant Nature. Now, we do have low special defense, which makes this a little bit scary. So I don't think we'll be able to get a belly drum off, but I probably would recommend turn 1 Swords Dance, and then after that, start spamming Drain Punch until you eventually win the raid. But that Metronome, you're going to be doing additional 10% damage each time you do it in a row, capping at a 50% damage boost of Drain Punch, which is going to be absolutely massive, and it's going to be stab and super effective. Now, you don't have Sunny Day, so Iron Hand solo is probably not going to be the best, but I can see this Pokemon working really well in raids online. Next up is going to be Special Attackers, and we got a couple of them here, with Golden Go the lead with the Terra Steel and the Shell Bell, with the max HP, max special attack, Modest Nature. Now, Golden Go is great because you can set up your own special attack stat with Nasty Plot, get +2. You could also potentially lower the special defense with a Metal Sound. Now, this will trigger competitive, which is definitely worrisome, but we do have some supporters who can actually make this work. But for sure, definitely do that Nasty Plot. And then from there, you want to Nasty Plot a couple of times and either go for Flash Cannon or Make It Rain. Make It Rain will not miss, and it will do 120 damage, which is absolutely epic. However, it will lower your special attack stat by -1. So Flash Cannon does less damage, but it is a bit safer overall. Now, you could have something like Steel Beam instead of Metal Sound here as a tactical nuke. It can miss, and you will lose half your HP whether it hits or misses. So it's a little bit risky, but it can make some of the solos a little bit faster. However, this Pokemon is going to be phenomenal for online raids, especially if it has certain supporters with it. And we'll even have a turn 1 KO video with this Pokemon coming up soon on the channel. Next up is going to be Magearna. Now, is going to be Shell Bell, and this should say Terra Steel. Do not do Terra Fairy, do Terra Steel. Haven't changed it yet. Magearna, absolutely phenomenal solo Pokemon. This Pokemon keeps soloing all the 7-star raids. Max HP, max special attack, modest nature. Now, it's great in solo and not that great in terms of online, because online, you don't want your partners to faint. The timer goes down by a lot. But in solo play, when your AI partners faint, they don't bring down the timer. And when they faint, you're going to be getting a special attack boost whenever they faint. So you're going to be setting up just by playing the game. You don't have to focus on that. You just got to focus on staying alive, which is super easy. So once again, Sunny Day is going to be great. You're going to set up the sun, and you're not going to have to worry about any of the hydro pumps or blizzards coming at you. And then you can set up a light screen as well for that additional resistances. And after doing a couple of this setup, you should have some of your ally partners faint. And then you're going to be at like +2 or +3 special attack by now. And then you can start spamming Draining Kiss for that HP sustain or for that Flash Cannon. Now, I would recommend switching over to Flash Cannon once you get enough attacks off, and then Terra Steel into Flash Cannon, and you're going to be doing so much damage. And of course, because you are a Steel type, you do resist the Ice type moves. Magearna is an absolute beast. You could put something like Calm Mind on here if you want that special defense boost as well. But honestly, because of Soul Heart, I don't think it's really that worth it. So I would just recommend going with Flash Cannon. You do have Steel Beam, but I think it's a little bit too risky, and I wouldn't risk it here. Now, our supporters, and we actually got quite a few. I'm going to recommend Mew with the Heat Rock. Your Terra doesn't really matter too much. Max HP, max special defense is better, but mine's max defense. What really matters here is you have the move Skill Swap. Now, Pokemon to Skill Swap are going to be phenomenal in this raid because you can switch your skill with the competitive skill the Empoleon has. So Mew will be giving the Empoleon Synchronize, and we're going to be getting competitive. So now we can start debuffing it with Acid Sprays. And this is how we get through the competitive nature of this Pokemon. Of course, we can support the team with Sunny Day, make it so Blizzard doesn't hit, make it so Hydro Pump does less damage, and then we can heal with Life Dew. And Mew is going to be an absolute beast, and that Heat Rock's going to make it so Sunny Day lasts for a total of 8 turns, which is going to be a very long time. I think by 8 turns, you'll probably be able to knock out the raid boss. Next up is Blissey, and I'm going to have the item Covert Cloak on it. Max HP, max defense is what my normal Blissey is, but you could switch to max special defense. I mean, it doesn't really matter. The max HP is going to do everything you need. Over 700 HP on that, which is crazy. I do have a plus special defense nature, which is very important. I think you want to be able to take those special attacking moves as best as possible. And similar to the Mew, we're going to go Sunny Day to prevent the snow from going up. Life Dew to heal up the team. Skill Swap to give it Healer, which is a useless ability on it. And we're going to be getting competitive. And then we can set up a Light Screen. So we don't have any damaging moves on this Blissey, but Blissey is pretty accessible for most people. And spamming Life Dew is going to be really helpful in any raid. So I definitely can recommend Blissey. Now, the king of Skill Swap is going to be Poltegeist with Covert Cloak. Max HP, max special defense. You could run like a plus special defense nature or plus special attack nature. It doesn't really matter too much here. You can do plus special defense minus attack nature, which is really helpful. The thing that matters on this Pokemon is going to be the ability Weak Armor. Now, Weak Armor, whenever we get hit, our physical defense will get lowered by 1, but our speed will be boosted by 2. So turn 1, we're going to use Skill Swap and give this to Empoleon. So whenever the Empoleon gets hit by a damaging move, it's going to lose its defense by 1, which is going to make it so easy for things like Koraidon or Iron Hands or Annihilate to really destroy this Pokemon. Now, we also have things like Strength Sap. This will like lower the Empoleon's physical attack stat if it has any physical attacking moves and give us HP back, which is great. Light Screen to give everyone a bonus, essentially a free +2 to their special defense for 5 turns. And lastly, you can put like an attacking move like Shadow Ball here, or you can do something like Trick Room. Because you did the Skill Swap onto it, it's going to be getting all this speed boost. It's going to be the fastest thing on the field, so it's going to attack before us. So you can use Trick Room to make it the slowest thing on the field and make it even safer for everyone else. I think this Pokemon is very underrated, and I would highly recommend it for this raid. Now, another great Pokemon is going to be Weezing. I'll say Weezing and not Galarian Weezing because you only need weak to steel type moves. Regular Weezing will do the job. I have Covert Cloak to prevent any freezes happening. Max HP, max special defense. I believe our nature is like a calm nature, which is plus special defense minus attack. We have the ability Neutralizing Gas, which is absolutely phenomenal. This is going to make it so no one's ability on the field, your allies and the raid bosses, are affected. Like they just never happened. So competitive's immediately gone on turn 1, and then you can just spam acid spray and just lower that special defense as much as you want. You can also set up Sunny Day, which is pretty nice. Set up the sun, boosting the fire moves, making so Blizzard isn't as accurate, reducing the damage from Hydro Pump and Surf. You can taunt it, so it tries to set up on you with like a Snowscape or an Agility. You prevent that. And you have Flamethrower, so you have sun boosted Flamethrowers coming in. Special defense drops on the Empoleon. That's going to be absolutely massive as well. Now, the last supporter I recommend is Berserker with the Wide Lens and Terra Steel. The hidden ability Steely Spirit is going to give everyone on your side of the field, including your Berserker, a damage boost to Steel type moves. And this stacks of all other Berserkers as well. So you could run 4 Berserkers. It's a decent idea. Max HP, max special defense with a plus special defense nature, minus special attack preferred. And we're going to go fully support on this. So we can set up the sun to make it so Blizzard and Hydro Pump aren't really threats. Then we can start setting up Swords Dance to boost our own damage for Iron Head, which will be getting the Steely Spirit boost. This Pokemon works great with like Magearna and Goldingo as well, so I definitely recommend pairing up with them. Now, you could have Screech or Fake Tears in this slot too. Up to you. Now, we have Wide Lens to hit Screech to help Physical Attackers out, but you can switch this to something like Fake Tears. Just remember, you will trigger competitive unless you have another Pokemon on your side of the field who skill swapped it or removed it with Neutralizing Gas. But there we have it, guys. That is going to be all of the Pokemon I recommend for this raid. And of course, guys, like this type of content, enjoy these videos, please leave a like, subscribe if you're new. I really appreciate it. And don't forget, we'll be doing this raid live on stream. We're gonna be doing solo builds, 1-turn KO, and I'll be posting a 1-turn KO video shortly on the channel. So stay tuned for more Pokemon content and other gaming action. Peace out and have a good one.